Hello, and welcome to yet another mind-expanding episode of Big Think Mailbag. We have the full Big Think crew with us today. We have Bob.
Hey, guys.
From GigaBoots. We've got KZ from KZExcellent.com. And Mr. Feel from Mr. Feel's Wild Ride. So let's get right to it. A sentient J-Dam says, what's a meal that you paid way too much for? As an example, I once had a hamburger at a slightly upscale restaurant. My eyes bugged out when I got the receipt, and the burger with all the toppings added up to over $30.
Bob felt that.
He did.
It's a lot.
So if you're going to prom at Niceville High School,
Oh, this is good.
Niceville High. This is like a cartoon.
if you
It is.
are going to prom, there is one nice Italian restaurant anywhere near here. And some might say it's sort of expected that you go there. That is an expensive fucking Italian restaurant, considering it doesn't even taste that fucking good. So that was
Yeah.
the last time that I went. Are you fucking serious? That's the thing on the surface level that I can remember where I went, that did not taste anywhere near the level I would expect from that. Because at least, Bob, when we went to Emerald's restaurant, I got to see fucking Emerald Lagasse.
Right.
And I went,
It was
well,
kind of scary.
well, of course this costs this much. That's fucking Emerald Lagasse over there.
Yeah, he's there going, BAM!
But it was very quiet Bams. He was just sitting at this nice small table with an elderly couple, and he's like, bam, 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 bam. And I'm like,
And people outside kept dropping dead for some reason.
what the fuck? Why are those people dying, Bob?
Prologue.
Wait a second. What's that in the corner? Bam, 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 bam. Is that fucking Emerald?
Then we don't worry about those dead people. We were excited about Emerald being there.
If I remember correctly, Bob,
Yeah.
we ordered an appetizer or something for the three of us. It was me, Bob, Tosh. None of us really loved what we got as our main dish, but that fucking app was insane.
Yes,
Do
the
you
appetizer was really good. I think it was mushroom marsala,
I think that's what they...
but I'm not sure. It was just a pile of mushrooms. All cooked.
It literally was just cooked mushrooms, but they were unbelievably good. And I was like, well, fuck, if I knew this was going to be that good, we could have just ordered like 4 of this appetizer. That's all I can think of. Field, do you have anything? Anytime you went to a restaurant and went, what? No.
There's a couple I can pick depending on like the one where I wasn't surprised. I was just depressed and did it anyway.
I'm not surprised. I'm just disappointed.
I'm putting a bomb in my steak.
Because there was okay, I went to a Japanese steakhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really expensive because it was supposed to be one of those places where they put on a show with the steel,
Yeah.
Man, the guy was so half-assed. It was so pathetic. And I was like, what, did I get him on his off day? When we left, everybody was like, yeah, that was bad. And it's like $40 a person.
Did he have a Krusty the Clown energy about him?
No, he had I'm just trying to get through college energy to him.
That might be worse.
The only even remotely interesting thing he did was he flipped shrimp tails into his shirt pocket.
Well, at least he had that trick down. That's important.
And then at the end, after the generally uninterest, not impressive cooking, he like took 2 like tiki totems. They were like these wooden. They looked almost like salt and pepper shakers, but they weren't. And they had like tiki faces on them, and he like did a show with those, and I'm like, why didn't you do that when you were cooking? Like this is neat, but it lasted 30 seconds. I was like, oh well, I guess that's $200 gone.
Yeah, but
Ugh.
yeah, at least with that sort of restaurant, you knew it was coming, right? Price wise, it's just the disappointment was the performance. Oh man, KZ, do you have any stories of this ilk?
Yeah, Arby's has a sandwich for like $7. That's kind of crazy.
I'm not gonna lie. I
Seems
think
cheap nowadays.
that's fair. I mean, I'm like, oh shit, we got an Arby's in town. Oh shit, I can't get out of here without spending $12.
Yeah, and then I'm like, that was a good sandwich.
Yeah,
Guess I'll do it. I'll do it. Yeah. And that's been my feeling every time I order there. When I climb out of that house that I live in and walk around the 4 yards to get inside the building, and then I go, please, just put it into my mouth. I just open up, lay it on the table, and then they go, please leave.
you're like, I've had so many of these half-eaten and rotten. I would like one fresh.
Pour the au jus sauce into my mouth.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gotta wait for it to cool down a bit.
Now I'm just like,
Oh.
now I'm like, I kind
No,
of
this
want
is
to.
how I feel alive, Bob.
Scalding with damage to your mouth. We're gonna meet KZ and he's just gonna look like like the Dark Knight version of the Joker from all the burns on his face and having hot food poured into it.
You want
He's like,
to know how I got these scars?
Man, cut to Arby's as they're pouring it into his mouth.
It's my dad loved lunch.
It has like some fucking Lord of the Rings crafting shit in the fucking heat of the volcano of Mount Mordor energy to the soundtrack as KZ's burned.
KZ's
Over and over.
sinking into the really bad looking CGI lava like Gollum.
But it's just au jus. Yeah, no, that's the last time I was surprised really. Like I kind of know what's going on anytime I go into a restaurant nowadays.
Every time I go to Five Guys,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's always a little bit of this of like, I know it's going to be this expensive. It shouldn't be though. It really doesn't seem like it earns it.
What was it? They call themselves a certain type of business. I can't remember the name they use. But I was like, oh, I've never heard that word before. And then I look it up.
Burger place?
And no. There's, and I think it was a Jewish word for a business, but it kind of reminded me of zaibatsu when you think of like the Mishima zaibatsu. But I was like, oh, I never heard of that word for a business before. Seize receipt. Okay, now I know why they have a fancy word for this business.
I think the only time I've been super disappointed though is when I was like, their hamburgers are pretty good. I'll try their hot dog. And that's trash.
They do hot dog?
They do hot dog.
You're better off not knowing that, by the way. That hot dog.
I bet they don't do hot dogs.
It's like $6 and it's just a ballpark Frank.
I watched him. I watched him order that. And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty excited too. You know, the world of hot dogs, like fancy hot dogs, is pretty crazy. That he gets this depressing hot dog, and I'm like, oh, that's
Not even a Nathan's.
No.
Did they top that like a Chicago dog?
No, there wasn't even anything fancy about the toppings.
Okay, that's what I remembered.
I could just order whatever was on the burger.
Dude, that's what I remembered. But I was like, that seems insane.
Yeah.
I had to just not be paying attention, I'm sure.
Sonic's makes a better hot dog.
Yeesh. Sonic hot dogs are pretty good. But we got to move on.
I feel like that's their export, so I would hope.
I thought their export was tempting us with a s'mores milkshake.
That's their other export. It's that and expired tater tots.
Oh God, I can just feel myself drinking that and having to fall asleep. It's just like your body needs all your energy to digest the s'mores milkshake. Go to sleep now.
starts drinking it and a low battery warning pops up in his brain.
Yeah, that's how milkshakes usually go.
Give him one of those and like survive the whole podcast.
That'd be rough.
He's done before Pod Lords.
We end and we wait for him to do his bit, and then we just hear snoring. You should give us money. Let's talk about news. Okay, moving on. The next email is from Diablo. Dear BTD crew, you're forced to go to your least favorite fast food place. When you get to make the experience as bearable as possible, nothing isn't an option.
Let me pull up the Arby's menu.
Oh no!
The funny thing is I read this immediately and I'm like, French toast sticks, I'll feel like shit, but the huge amount of sugar in it will convince me that I'm not just miserable.
Now, is that Burger King or is that...
That is Burger King.
Okay.
Yeah.
Their French toast sticks used to be better. Just like their breakfast sandwiches used to be breakfast sandwiches and not the vague idea of a sandwich placed before you.
What do you mean? They got the iconic croissantwich.
Dude, the croissantwich, once again, I haven't been to my Burger King for breakfast in a very, very long time. Was like the past few times I've ordered it, it was sad. It was depressing. It was so
sad.
It was so sad, dude. Like it fell apart in my hands, and I'm like, how is this? This thing's already like cold.
You gripped it too hard.
Yes, it's just weird, man. Phil, have you come back with anything?
Yes. I'm going to go to Arby's and I'm going to be the most grotesque human being possible. I'm not even going to care how it looks. I'm just going to get 18 mozzarella sticks. I'm going to get 3 of their 6-piece mozzarella sticks.
Yeah, he's going to bring that Sonic's s'mores milkshake in there. He's going to drink that and eat the mozzarella.
Yes, I'll have a pound of fried cheese.
He'll die in that restaurant. They'll build a statue shaped like him to see at a table in the corner.
It's like how you go to some KFCs and there's like the Colonel sitting on a bench.
Yeah,
for you to take selfies with.
Exactly.
There'll be a little plaque at the bottom that just says human garbage.
Well, yeah, is it Arby's?
Oh man, this is sounding more and more like a life goal. I don't know. KZ.
I'll go to a Chick-fil-A and get fries.
Oh man, that's.
I mean, the waffle fries are pretty good as long as they're fresh. If you leave them sitting for even a minute, they're dead.
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't.
Yeah. The whole thing
Really,
is
I've never had
ideal.
Chick-fil-A, so I don't even know.
Chick-fil-A, the chicken sandwich is delicious. Everything else is various levels of mistakes. So one end of the mistakes is getting waffle fries and leaving them for a second. Another end of the mistakes is paying them how much they want you to pay them for their premium lemonade. Another end of the mistakes is their shitload of like milkshakes and other things like that are just really good, but you know, you feel like crap after having it because it's just 600 calories in a small cup.
Their chicken tenders are pretty good.
Yeah, the chicken tenders are okay. The chicken nuggets are really weird because they're tiny rectangular cubes almost. Like, so imagine the world's tiniest nugget. Like, I don't know, man. It's not even half the size of a McDonald's nugget. Very strange, but yeah. Also, least favorite, I'm now realizing, could have more than one connotation, so Chick-fil-A might be my least favorite, too. I don't know. Has Burger King done anything racist recently? How are we going to outperform Chick-fil-A?
No, they just donate to streamers.
Let me see. Burger King, racism. Let's see. They seem to have to apologize for one racist thing per year. So... last year they had some racist ad of somebody trying to use chopsticks. And this year, they used Kung Flu, I think.
Oh, yeah, I actually saw that. I forgot all about that.
They're innocent.
KZ,
This is a
it's
frame
not
job.
it's not a coincidence that Burger King and drug dealers spawn in the same environments.
Yes, it is.
KZ, I wouldn't be so quick to say that. I think we're going to have to review the science first.
Oh, look, there's a closed Kmart. There's a depressing rat-eaten mall. There's the pawn
he was
shop,
gonna say
and
body.
there's Burger King.
He's gonna be a body in a minute.
After he has the delicious s'mores milkshake. No, seriously, that thing's like a siren song luring me over the bridge. It's like, come, Daniel, have the s'mores milkshake. And I'm like, no, I know.
You're a mess, okay? After
Why
that
is
exchange
Zobek
that
offering
happened,
you the s'more milkshake?
Okay.
Yes, I killed your family, but have this milkshake.
Oh, Gabriel. After you left, I killed Daniel with a milkshake. Abruptly, in a way that seems weird.
you had like a little conversation thing that you described where you went, yeah, Bob, I stopped, finally found a way to get normal sleep. I stopped doing energy drinks. Hold on, pull in there. I need a Red Bull.
I was like,
It lasted seconds.
Oh no!
I was like,
It was like the very time you finally got some sleep. You explain, yeah, just those drinks. Pull over. We got to get that.
I gotta get that Red Bull. We had a 13-hour stream of Untold Legends Dark Kingdom to do.
Oh,
And then it never happened, so you just drank it for nothing.
That's okay. Later in the week, I needed them to correct my sleep schedule for a really great Gamescom stream. Bob,
Oh, good.
What would you?
I'm trying to figure out which one I dislike more, Burger King or McDonald's. So I guess I'll just do both of them.
Okay.
As long as McDonald's has the breakfast all day, I'm safe because I can just get a McGriddle and feel terrible about myself. But
Yes,
it'll be delicious.
McGriddles are wonderful.
That's
Adding the strongest layer of grease to your teeth possible.
McDonald's is pretty up there for me too, because ever since they decided we're way more expensive than we have any right to be now.
Yeah, they used to have decent chicken sandwiches, but even those just got disgusting at some point. So
Yeah.
finding anything on the menu that's not gross is hard.
just buy the single cheeseburger. That's like $1. That's it. It's mostly buns, so it's not a good meal.
God.
Ooh, bread.
And then Burger King, the Impossible Whopper has been pretty all right. I've eaten that a few times, and it's
Is that the one that makes you a woman?
Yes, Casey.
Just making sure.
The quality of their meat is so bad that I'd rather have fake meat.
Yeah. No, that's understandable.
You're like, whatever, maybe the estrogen will help make it taste better.
Bob's like, what is this? Earthy tones with a waft of... Is that estrogen? Oh, man. Yeah, I'd put Burger King way behind McDonald's because I think there are like two things on their menu I can order. Meanwhile, with Burger King, I'm like, well, I'm here to be miserable. I put a bomb in my happiness.
I haven't had enough of their things recently enough that it's... Every time I order something, it'll be a new surprise. Like, how much worse has this gotten?
I mean, I have to admit that scene in Heavy Rain where Ethan's son dies and then he poisons himself and has an hour to live and it's raining and he just goes to Burger King was very strange.
I thought it was on point. Okay, we gotta move on.
Too much.
A concerned waffle taco stand writes, Dear Gigabrain fast food gourmands, what item from a fast food menu that has been removed do you miss the most? Okay,
All
so
Taco Bell's menu.
this is going to make it the saddest thing ever because you think I would go with what KZ just said because of how many tweets alone I've made about Their menu hasn't been this dire since the 90s. But no, actually, there's something very specific I miss. Around 2006, 2005, 2006, Burger King had a steakhouse burger that was the singular good burger in all of fast food. It was delicious. It had like imagine the things you would put on a steak, right? So steak and potatoes, that's what you get at steakhouse, right? So it has small potatoes on it with like a mashed potato sauce that goes on that layer. And then it has like little crispy curls in there too. And it's so fucking good. And then they took it away and then they climbed deeper into the dumpster that is Burger King since. I miss that steakhouse burger. Not as much as I miss Snickers Cruncher, but, you know, pretty close. Feel?
Okay, I'm trying to remember what this thing was called. I don't know. I'm assuming this is a regional chain, but it's called Church's Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have that here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They used to have a sandwich called the Big Tex Chicken Tender Sandwich. It looked like this, so everybody has a visual for it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that
my
looks
God.
solid.
Whoa.
And you could get it with normal chicken tenders or with their spicy chicken tenders. And Church's spicy chicken tenders were pretty legit. They were pretty hot. And it has it has pickles, lettuce, and their
Green stuff.
and their sauce, which I don't know, was probably ranch dressing mixed with ketchup or something. I have no idea. But it was real good, and it was enormous, and you didn't even have to get it as a meat. You didn't have to get a meal. You could just be like, here's $4, give me the 700-calorie sandwich, and our interaction is done. and you just eat the sandwich, and that's your meal. It's only 700 calories, so you're probably coming out ahead versus most fast food meals. And because there's 2 enormous slices of Texas toast as a component, it's very filling.
The sandwich is also 4.5 pounds.
But they got rid of it, and yeah, that's sad. Also, honorable mention is the triple double crunch wrap.
A nominee for Big Think Dimensions' greatest Taco Bell items last year. It got a vote.
4.5 pound menu item.
Yeah, we described it. It's like you pick it up, you put it down.
Like on Good Burger, where the guy picks up the burger with his spatula and it bends, and he's just upset. He's like, "Argh!"
Yeah.
That's what happens when you pick up the triple double crunch.
Mondo Crunch Wrap.
Man, I'm losing it because I think Burger King has been doing steakhouse burgers since the one in 2006, but they don't involve the potatoes or anything else.
What's the point?
Yeah, no. And also, I believe it was originally called the Angus Steakhouse Burger. So that may be the differentiator there. Anyway, Bob, I looked over and saw what you're looking at, and I'm having a stroke. Please tell me you're not going to answer with that.
Bob answered with that.
Well, now I gotta know.
I was looking up the Wendy's Super Bar.
The what?
What?
Time to put it into the chat.
This isn't even what it looked like when I saw it, because this is a picture from the 80s, and I did not see it then, of course. But I'll post this picture.
Oh, it's like a horrifying little buffet.
Yes.
Yes.
What?
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wendy's used to do stuff like
it
that.
had like a little taco bar.
Mexican fiesta.
You got the big Wendy's tacos.
My God.
It was really neat, and I wish it survived until I was old enough to know how it actually was, instead of just being like fascinated by it as a very young child.
Yeah, that's the feeling I have with Shoney's, because I used to go to Shoney's around here, and I'm like, that probably wasn't good. They were probably just the only buffet that gave you eggs and nacho cheese to put on it.
Shoney's was the only buffet around here that was like infinite crab legs, same price as everything else.
I feel like a lot of Chinese restaurants do that.
Yeah,
Do they not?
but now they do, but they're kind of bad, and I assume that Shoney's probably was too, but as a child I didn't know.
See, so it's the same thing.
Oh, okay. This isn't an answer, but it's a fascinated by fast food thing that I have to bring up.
Yeah.
When I think I was 6 or 7. I was very young. My family went to El Paso to go to Mexico for a day trip because it's like 4 hours away.
Man.
So you stay a weekend and you go into Mexico for a day and look around and fucking whatever. Anyway, we went to Mexico. We went to McDonald's in El Paso. They had a sign advertising a bucket of fries.
Ooh.
And we went through the drive-thru, and my parents refused to order it, so I never got to see what it looks like, and that has vexed me for 25 years. It's like, what does the McDonald's bucket of fries look like? And I've looked it up since and have not been able to find any official version of this.
One thing that's been more recent from my wish it, or it left the menu, and I don't think it's coming back, is the A1 Thick and Hearty burger at Whataburger.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just want a burger with covered in A1 sauce. Okay, they won't do it anymore.
Like you guys don't get it. I need it. The egg isn't enough.
I need an egg and A1 sauce on it.
No, see.
Oh God.
This is the thing. I can't do the give me an egg on the burger to disturb people anymore. It just doesn't work for me. I have to go to Arby's, Bob.
Okay.
Order a Reuben and ask for au jus and put it on it in front of them.
That wouldn't work at all.
They're like, that has Thousand Island on it, sir. And I'm like, yeah. And now it has savory beef juices.
Okay, now you can't do that, Dan. As someone who procures the au jus as they pour it into my mouth at an Arby's establishment, you can't just do that because there is a 70-30 chance the au jus sauce that they have prepared isn't even ripe, so it's just flavored water.
Yeah, that's true.
Instead of prime sauce that has a nice, good flavor to it.
Now I'm remembering the old Hardee's menu.
Sometimes the au jus tastes like Crystal Light au jus.
Oh,
Yes, that's what I've been having recently. I've been very sad about it.
I know, it's bad.
It's like squeeze the meat udder better so I can get the good stuff.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ. Casey, don't say things like that.
Hey, Bob, you were saying something.
Yeah.
Listen to this content.
I have some fond memories of the original Hardee's menu that got completely replaced shortly after I stopped working there, which was, God, 15 years ago or more? Jesus.
Yeah, it was about 15 years ago.
But yeah, they add slammers to it, which are like 2 small burgers instead of 1 good burger.
Slammers.
Yes, they were sliders. But they call them slammers.
It's like, what is this, Pog? Pogs?
Yeah, now all the Hardee's burgers are very different.
Yeah, now they go for like a quarter pounder, a half pounder, a double pounder.
Are Carl's Jr. and Hardee's the same
Yes.
franchise?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just like, now their burgers are like, it has shrimp and avocado on it. It's $18.
Yes.
Jesus. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I think it's Hardee's bought Carl's Jr.
We had a Carl's Jr. here, and it shut down in 6 months because nobody wanted to pay $8 a burger.
They don't have the staying power of Arby's.
That's true. That Arby's has been there forever.
That reminds me of before we switched to the new menu at Hardee's, one of the last things they did was I think it was called the $10 burger, but it wasn't actually $10. It was like $4 or something. It was supposed to be like this weird play on, oh yeah, the restaurant burger you get, it's just as good as that. Then they just switched to just having the burgers that were actually $10.
This is good. This is very good. Ah, that's great. If we finish this mailbag fast enough, I can order some fresh meat udders.
Moving on. Third Energy writes, "Howdy, cosmic contemplators. I believe you've all mentioned at one point or another, and working in retail/service, do you guys have any particularly outlandish stories to share about your experience with these jobs? Thanks once again for all the hours of suffering, hard work you put forth to deliver such lasting and great content. Thanks,
Bob.
Third Energy." Oh no, please don't call on Bob. Is that the whole reason we took this class?
Oh no, I had stuff.
I was like, everywhere he's got something, I'm sure.
Except Casey.
My favorite.
Yeah, here's my experience in service. These motherfuckers expect a video every day. I don't know why. Next.
I'll tell the one I've told before really quickly, and then thinking whether or not I know a different one. So there was total dirtbag. I've told the story about how this dude was clearly a drug dealer, and some guy came in asking if the hats were ready, and he looked nervous when the guy found him in my store.
Is it drugs?
Yeah, it was clearly fucking drugs. He's just like,
yeah, the hat.
He's like, yeah, the hats. And then that's exactly how he says it. And he looks at the person who's with him. They're being made right now, but we're having troubles getting supplies. So, it may take a little bit longer to get the hats made. And I'm just like, dude, I'm fucking 20. I don't give a shit about anything that's going on. Will you just finish your drug deal and get out of my store?
I'm 20 and working retail. You could kill someone in front of me and I would not care.
With a hat.
As long as you weren't trying to kill me, go ahead.
That's my super obvious one, but I'm pretty sure I've told that story before. Bob?
I always have trouble picking out a particular event. This was a really strange happening, though. One time it was like really close to close, 8:40 or something, close at 9. This whole group of kids, like, I'd say like 15 and under, just probably 5 to 8 of them just come into the store. There's nobody else in there. They start playing music and one of them starts like dancing.
Oh yeah, I've had that happen.
And then he finishes and leaves, and it's like,
and you clap.
What was that about?
So
call the cops.
So you notice those people, I don't know if you want to give them that much credit to call them that, completely turn off their ability to notice you staring at them like, what the fuck are you doing? Because that's how my experience went. I think it might have something to do with me working at a tourist destination.
Yeah.
Because the same thing happened to me.
Yeah, I
like, what the fuck, man? What?
Right, like what did you?
And they didn't buy anything. No one's even filming the dude dancing. This was like, for me, 2008 or something. They didn't look high either.
This was only like 2 years ago for me, so it's
okay.
not. It wasn't. I don't even think somebody was recording him either. Though.
Yeah,
like I figured it would be a thing to like just cause general disorder and maybe upset someone, but there was nobody else in the store. I didn't care because it's like, there's nobody in here. You're not ruining anything.
See, for me, is when I was working that overnight job, right?
Right.
And one of the worst parts of working that overnight job is if a customer enters the store, you have to keep an eye on them.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, well, my job's at the back of the store. I'm trying to fix shit. But here you are at the front of the store. So they're just dancing at the front of the store, wasting my fucking time. And I'm like, joke's on you. I'm used to this. Oh, what's that? You bought nothing? I'm also used to that.
Oh, no.
That's fucking weird. How did we both have that happen?
I don't know. And that many years apart, so obviously not the same kids.
Obviously not. No. Fucking Christ.
I like that. It comes to Bob's place 10 years later.
A 29-year-old blonde shows up at Bob's establishment.
Doing the worm.
You're like, would you like to buy a copy of Red Steel?
It's the only appropriate question.
Coming out for the Nintendo Revolution.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's so many other random weird stories from GameStop though. Like the guy who was convinced 8 years ago that he knew the story of Kingdom Hearts 3. I wish I could remember the details because it was insane.
Yeah, no, it was insane. I remember you briefly going over it, 8 years ago when I didn't have any frame of reference for Kingdom Hearts. So I'm like, this sounds really stupid, but I'm sure if you know anything about Kingdom Hearts, it's either stupider or smarter.
Donald Duck kills a guy.
I want to say there was something about Axel being some other character's dad. I don't know though.
that is the exact level I was hoping it would be. Where it's just like, Riku's pregnant. It's a mouse.
That guy who was doing an obvious drug deal. There was a time he came in with a chick. He always came in with a different chick, so he would swap them out like once every 3 weeks, And they obviously were maybe into his hats a little. There was a time he came in with a lady, and he's checking out. He grabbed a drink when he first came in, and it was like a $3.50 drink. It was a nicer drink. He starts checking out. He doesn't put that drink on the thing. And I just calmly go, and sadly this guy's a regular at that place. I just calmly go, is that going to be it? He goes, yeah, that's it. And I'm like, oh, you decided to not get the drink? And he goes, what drink? And the lady, without skipping a beat, goes, the drink in your pocket. And the look he fucking gave her of, I'm gonna kill you, you bitch.
Oh no.
Oh.
And he goes, oh yeah, that's right, forgot all about it. And then he pulls it out of his pocket and puts it on the counter.
And he hits her with it and keeps hitting her, and it became a whole to-do.
And Dan's like, I never saw her again.
Actually, now that you say that, I did.
He came back, though, after 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, no, so a lot of stories involving that guy. There was this Italian dude, which honestly, I didn't see The Sopranos until way later in life, but he comes off as like, as KZ just gabagooled, like straight out.
They Tony doesn't know about the gabagool.
So straight out of that show, really thick accent, very excited. This dude really wanted to tell me the origin story for Teflon.
The dumbest shit ever.
If anyone remembers it was a few years ago. It was like 10 years ago, I guess. They had a green natural nonstick pan that was an as seen on TV thing, and he was very excited to tell me the story about how that got made. And he's like, "Yeah, the guy who made this," and he's just holding it up. It's, he did blah, 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 and also blood, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? I mean, I'll sit here and listen to this because they can't get upset at me for listening to you. You're the customer. But at a certain point, I'm like, why are you spending, and I'm not exaggerating, 45 minutes telling me about this non-stick pan origin story?
Yeah, some customers will really get into a thing. Yeah. And it's incredibly hard to break it off.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's like, there are other things I have to do, but you won't stop.
For people who don't know, Jim Ratgazer was my manager. So once in a blue moon, there would be a moment where he would be like, Dan, I need you to come to the office. And I'm like, okay, well, have a good night. And I would walk up to the office. It's a set of stairs, a door. And then he just goes, I did that so they go away. I'm like, yeah, I know. And talked to me for 30 minutes. And he was like, yeah, that's it.
When you first said he was your manager, I'm like, I can't imagine him being a boss. Then immediately, oh, okay, yeah.
It just immediately comes across. You're like, yeah, that makes sense. That checks out. Yeah, no, there were some pretty good Jim Ratgazer and Dan video games moments at that job. For example, I beat Pokemon Emerald on my shift over the course of a week because it was that dead on overnight.
Oh no!
Oh.
I don't know what fucking happened. Maybe it was the BP oil spill, but I don't fucking remember what exactly killed business that hardcore for a month. But no one came in, and we got a new store manager who didn't have any frame of reference for how much we could accomplish overnight. So we kind of just told him nothing. Fuck you.
Nothing ever gets done. I'm gonna go take a nap inside the boxes.
That guy got fired. Because that was the other overnight manager at one point. That motherfucker thought he was smart. He was not. Here's what he did. There is a camera inside this is a different store, but it's the same chain of stores, but it was a different one. So this office was not up some stairs. It was, in fact, incredibly claustrophobic, and there was a camera in there to make sure, people aren't stealing money. He thought he was clever. He brought the, what do you call those, like, inflatable pool bed? So, like, those...
He brought an air mattress.
Yeah, he brought an air mattress, but for a pool...
So
from the sales floor into the office, inflated it, and slept on the ground. Because he was like, they can't see that low on the camera. And it's like, no, but they have the other camera where you clearly brought it in. And he did this.
What kind of fucked up shit is this? It's like, if I sleep on the floor behind the counter, no one will know I'm there.
Yes, because
too
like
low.
The cameras are motion activated when you want to review some footage. So you set it for, hey, if there's movement on screen, and you can even determine a region. You can select a region of if there's movement on screen in this region.
I think he might be a genius.
No, that guy got fired for that. So. He did that too many times.
Too many times. He didn't even just go.
And that's the thing. That was what was so funny about it. He was so convinced that he would be...
More than 5?
He's sleeping below the... Oh, God, yes. He was sleeping below the line of the camera. They'll never notice it. And I'm like, dude, you just do the equivalent of walking in a place with a gun and then walking out of that place with a smoking gun. Like, what the fuck? You think they're not going to notice that for 2 hours you're nowhere else on any of the 30 cameras in this store?
Yeah, I don't know how it happened.
That's fucking weird.
I stood really still.
Put a bomb in my gun.
They think it has like they think like whoever's watching it has like object impermanence.
The best part was the reason they nailed him is because the corner of the air mattress is just sticking into the front.
Of course.
No!
Oh my God.
By the way,
They're firing him, and he's like, I don't believe events can be causally connected. All we have are correlations, which are by nature subjective. And they just give him the pink slip.
This dude's mentally 5 years old.
by the way, those cameras were
Did you eat all the cake? No. It's all over my face, though.
I fell into it. Those cameras, by the way, were so low rent and low frame rate and low resolution because the security system's like from, I don't know, 2008. You could just stand still enough so the camera would skip over shitloads of time. So if you were, I don't know, insane, you could just stand there literally doing nothing if you were still enough. And they couldn't really, they wouldn't be able to easily notice that you did nothing in theory.
Well, I'm just waiting for like they set up a video loop like Speed of themselves working.
No, this is more like they set up a still photo like Mission Impossible 3 and taped it to the camera.
Yeah, that was the best where they just put the photo up when they're over top of the camera.
Okay, so this happened once. I don't remember who did it. It was a manager, though. They stuck a piece of paper over one of the cameras. It wasn't the one in the office. But the fucking stupid as hell thing about it is they thought, good, it'll be covered, so it won't activate the camera. and thus it won't record any of this if you tried to search by motion. The wind blew the piece of paper, you fucking idiot. So the camera's always active the entire night because a piece of paper is flapping right in front of the fucking lens. They found that immediately.
Yeah,
That's
not very smart, like the Mission Impossible thing. Now I'm just thinking of when they had that stupid fucking tablet camera that replicated a empty hallway.
Oh, that was really good.
That's very fancy, very fancy. What's up, Bob?
You know how bad it looks when you're trying to cover a camera?
Oh, yeah.
I imagine that's just immediately fireable, no matter what.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you're on high alert. I don't know. That place was never good at firing anyone.
Yeah.
What place was this?
It was a place.
There's a place. Well, what makes you think he's gonna say it, KZ?
Say. Can you also give me the address?
We had a place at a different store from that one. Okay.
Uh-huh.
At a different store from that one, somebody was very consistently having weird numbers right before our shift all the time. And we pointed this out to them multiple times over the course of like 2 months. They didn't do anything about it. A year later, it's like, oh yeah, it turns out that person was taking money from the safe. We're like, yeah, we know, because math.
We can count.
Yeah, no, this place is a clown dimension. Hey, Phil, do you have any outlandish stories?
Okay, let's whip through a couple. Some shit I saw at Home Depot. There was the time I let somebody steal a ornate cast iron bathtub that was worth thousands of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's a good
And
one.
how this occurred, and the way this occurred was they brought the bathtub up. They're like, "Can I have my guys load it while I pay?" And I'm already done with this job, so I'm like, "Sure, me no care." Then
Why you
okay.
caveman?
First credit card declines. Second credit card declines. Third credit card declines. He writes a check. The check declines, which I didn't know could happen until that moment.
Yeah.
And I'm like, everything declined, bro. He's like, okay, I'll have my guys unload it and bring it back in. Drives off. And then I go, I'm never going to tell a person about this. Never going to say a word. And nobody ever brought it up. So I win, I guess.
No, I think they win.
A couple other things. A guy tried to return light bulbs that had burnt out. And I don't mean like they were defective and he returned defective light bulbs. I mean, he brought like a box of 20 bulbs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm returning these. Why? They broke. This receipt is from 8 years ago. He's like, well, he broke. I think the manager did eventually refund him that money because the manager was a total pushover. Then there was Insane Lady. And Insane Lady came in and wanted to return cabinets she had ordered. Kitchen cabinets. She said they were wrong. They weren't the right size. And they go, okay. I mean, you gave us the measurements, so that's kind of on you, but sure, we'll take them back. And she's like, I cut them to pieces trying to make them fit.
What?
And the manager is like, okay, we really shouldn't. But he's like, also, I don't have them. I want you to come pick them up.
What?
And I unfortunately did not see the outcome of that situation because I had to go to lunch. So that was a disappointment. And then at Target, I'm trying to think if there was anything especially insane at Target. I remember there being a couple things. There was the guy who tried to pull. By the way, No, they don't have to sell you something because it was stocked in a different place. Which, by the way, nobody ever stocks it there. Somebody moves it to try and pull that scam.
Right.
So don't even bother. If you're listening to this and like, oh, it was in the wrong place, that means they have to... No, they don't. They don't have to do shit. Every single thing you think you know about what stores have to do is wrong. But this guy's like, this is 20 to... He brings a pool, a above ground swimming pool up, and you know, they come in like a box like roughly the size of like a water heater, or you know, it's like 2 by 2 by 5, 4 or 5. It's pretty big. It's like, oh, the tag said this was $20, and he's like, no, it was, sir, it was just stocked wrong. He's like, no, it wasn't. You have to. Security comes in and basically they hold him for the police because he had pushed it over, and they had him on camera pushing 3 of these things over to a different spot, and apparently he had a history of doing this to Target.
Jesus Christ.
Let's see. There was also all the people who tried to barter.
Oh yeah, that's
That's a problem anywhere.
yeah.
And I was like, are you deranged?
How about 8 doubloons?
Do you not understand how modern commerce works, sir?
No.
It's like,
Every
They're like,
single
what?
pawn
What?
shop.
Aren't we pirates?
it's like, oh, but I'll give you, this phone it says it's 40. I'll give you 30. I'm like, I'm 20 and really look like I don't want to be here. What makes you think I have the authority to haggle with you? Can somebody please come get this man? Hopefully his family.
Yeah, I don't know why so many people have that conceit. It's insane.
Yeah. Okay, and here's the most insane, the single craziest person I encountered doing retail. Okay. Not like on the surface insane, but had the most deranged expectations. This guy comes in, it's the 23rd of December. He looks like a douchebag. He looks like he's cosplaying as the protagonist of American Psycho. Like he has like a blue shirt and a tie and slacks, and his hair's slicked back, and he looks very yuppie-ish. And he like swaggers up to electronics and is like, and this is like 2009, I think. Maybe 2000. I think it was 2008 actually, because Obama had just been elected. So it was like, I need 5 Wiis, 5 PS3s, and 15 iPods. And I just stared at him for a second. I'm like, we have none of any of those because it's the 23rd of December. And he seemed 1, appalled, and 2, then angry.
Yeah, of
like
course.
he had a secret stash of the most desirable items at Christmas on the 23rd.
Yeah, we got that in the back.
We hate selling things.
Here's another thing. Yeah. There's nothing in the back.
What are you talking about?
There's never
They always
anything
have
in the
stuff
back.
I always heard they got stuff in the back. I saw them going to the back one time. They gave me a video game.
There might be something in the back if it came out that day and they haven't stocked it yet.
Yeah, that's the only thing you can successfully get from the bag.
There's not extra Wiis or iPods or anything in the back. They want that stuff out so you can buy it.
And for those who
I
don't
would
know,
hope they don't have iPods anymore.
For those who don't know, even if there was something in the back, they wouldn't tell you anyway. Like, oh,
Yeah,
can
no.
you go to the?
If
can you go
corporate
to
told
the-
them not to sell something, like say this is the week before Black Friday.
Not even that. Not even that. Not even that.
Yeah,
level.
whenever somebody told me, whenever I checked the back, I went to the back and sat down for 5 minutes and came back and was like, nope, we don't have anything.
See,
I'm sorry.
I'm a nice person. I'm a good lad. I legitimately go to the back to check for things everywhere I've ever fucking looked, like ever worked. Let me tell you, no one else is doing this. Every place I ever worked, other people just go to the back, stand there for a bit, and come back out. Because they already looked it up in the computer. They're not here to solve a mystery. They're here to get through their shift. So if somehow, by a miracle of God, there is some in the back, They wouldn't know. They don't want to know. Stop fucking asking. You're not going to find a day in video games working at retail.
He doesn't have time to work at retail.
That's true. It came down to that or sleep. They don't pay me enough, so I chose sleep.
Oh, okay.
Somebody tried to return Plan B.
What happened to Plan A?
Do you know what Plan B is?
Clearly no.
A morning after pill. They bought it. They left the store. They came back an hour and 20 minutes later, and the guy says, turns out we won't need it.
Oh, what does that mean?
No!
I don't know.
No!
And to this day, I think about it.
Yeah, so what are our options here? I didn't score.
We're keeping it.
We're keeping it. She's at the bottom of a lake.
Here's the thing. Okay. For those who don't know, at very least this was the case then, and I'm sure it's still the case now, at bare minimum in Florida, she has to be the one who buys it. A guy cannot buy Plan B. For reasons that should be obvious if you think about that even a little. So she bought it, but then didn't come back to return it, and he said that. So when Casey's like, she's sleeping at the bottom of the lake, I'm like, still not sure what's up with that.
You didn't have to throw me down the flight of stairs. I bought Plan B.
It was like $40 fucking, and he's like, well, I'm gonna get it back. And she's like, no, you aren't.
It's like you refused to join the softball team, so I had to do it.
There was a person who tried to return cough syrup. They had most of the bottle before they tried to return it. And I'm like, nope, that's not how that works. But fun fact, sir, if you bought our store brand,
Num num.
We are ludicrous levels of flexible on returning that. But no, you got it's just, sir, this is a fine pedigree, high quality NyQuil. I am sorry, sir. You have consumed 90% of this bottle, presumably in our parking lot. I did not let you take
5
this
minutes ago.
There was the only other outstanding thing, and I think I've mentioned this on the channel before, but not sure. There was a dude who always came in to buy the same thing, and it was sour Skittles and a watermelon Arizona. And it was after he'd been doing this for about, I would say, 6 weeks or something like that, pretty regularly, at least twice a week, maybe 3 times, that through the wonders of the internet, I accidentally discovered what lean was, and that was 2 of the main ingredients.
Oh my God.
And I was like, fuck.
That's kind of wrong.
And I had a moment of, no matter how innocuous their purchase, I think every customer is now just buying ingredients to make illegal drugs. Because that never would have triggered me, right? Nothing between Arizona, watermelon, whatever, juice, whatever they call it. I'm not sure if they're legally allowed to call it juice. Like
Yeah,
Kraft isn't allowed to call it cheese. Or
don't be mean to Kraft. Their cheese is wonderful.
no, what was it, Bob? You were looking at that box of Lunchables earlier, and the giant sentence they had a lawyer write to describe what the cheese was.
God, it was like pasteurized cheese substance or something.
There were like 2 or 3 more words. But yeah, because I never would have thought of that. Like people grabbing the cough syrup, yeah, that makes sense. That dude was just getting those 2 specific things every time, and then it turns out, the only thing he needed was cough syrup, and whoops,
codeine.
Yep. So that's fantastic. But I think that's all of them I'm going to tell.
Yeah, that's all.
And you told crimes.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I could talk about
Kraft American pasteurized cheese product.
Oh,
Delicious. What's up, Bob? What do you got for us?
I got one more. I might have told before, but it's been a while. This lady comes in with a cat that's either drugged or dead, and she just carries it around the store.
I forgot about this.
And it's just like,
What?
why is she seems out of it too? Like she seems like she's in a daze. And she just walks around the store, talks to us, and trying to make small talk as we just look at her cat. Me and my coworker we were working with both agreed that cat definitely was breathing still, and we shouldn't worry about it.
You both agreed to just be like, it's alive. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, there's a couple concerning stories like that, but I think I'll not tell them. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and move on. Pat writes in, it has been discussed before, but I'm curious what kind of martial arts Bob practices, and if any of the rest of the Giga crew do anything similar. Additionally, how much do I need to pay to have Bob beat up by school bullies? Love all the content you madmen produce.
This would be incredible. What do you need me to kill?
Bob's like, nothing personal, cracks knuckles.
But yeah, I practice karate. It's Okinawan Shorin-ryu Shorinkan, which is like one of the
Bless you.
ones from Okinawa.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, right.
That checks out.
The two main ones I've heard of are Shorinkan, which is what I do, and then Shotokan, which is the other popular one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, nothing else really, I guess, to say about what it is, because that's what it's called.
I know you guys do weapon training, right?
Yeah.
Do you train with guns?
No.
Okay, no gun kata?
No gun kata?
Ah, that's unfortunate.
Do you know Hip Hop Aikido from Power Rangers?
No, but I actually did take like a summer of Aikido way back in the day. No hip hop though.
Oh, damn.
20 years ago, I took Nisei Bujitsu, but then I had no money, so I couldn't afford the courses. Nisei Bujitsu is pretty dope. For those who don't know, it is obviously derivative of Jiu-Jitsu. But yeah, no, really good. Also, I was skinny then. I'm not going to say these things are related.
Just two coincidences. I don't know.
Just two coincidences. KZ, what martial arts do you take?
So I had them pour the au jus sauce into my mouth.
And then the guy, he relents. He pulls back. He stops pouring. And I give him this look of, please, my heart has almost stopped completely. Keep going.
At this point, it would be more of a
Please.
crime not to finish me.
Please, sir, you don't understand. They've built a schedule of podcasts of 2 on Thursday, 1 on Saturday, 1 on Tuesday, 2 on Thursday, 1 on Saturday.
And of course, Casey's gurgling this through all the audio.
Yes.
It's the maddest gurgling that man has ever heard.
Squeeze the others.
Phil, do you have anything you want to talk about, or can we move on?
I did boxing in my early 20s,
That sounds fun.
and then I stopped
Yeah, that also sounds sound.
because I ran out of time. Because there was a period where I had the retail job and was trying to go to college at the same time, and that didn't work out very well.
See, I'm lucky that my college attempt, I'll call it, was short-lived because of money.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah,
It really be that way.
it really do.
Ugh.
America.
Woo.
Good thing we're fundamentally fixing problems that were severe levels of broken about the system 14 years ago, right, guys?
It's a good thing that recession that happened when me and Bob and Dan were just becoming adults was once in a lifetime and will never happen again while we are alive.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's a good thing that one slump is all we had to deal with. And then it all got better. We're moving on. Lordy Fars writes in, hello, Gigabrain super geniuses. What is, in your opinion, the most heinous combination of foods, like the pineapple on pizza debate, the absolute worst topping or most horrible assortment of ingredients you can think of that some people genuinely enjoy? Line break, My best friend's ex used to put sugar on his pizza.
That's what Papa John's does. That's why their shit tastes that way. They just put sugar on.
There's a reckoning coming.
I don't have anything particular to talk about here. I'm pretty flexible in what I'll eat and what I'll accept.
Cheese and fish together in anything makes me respond like I've been tased.
I don't know. I used to think that, but then I saw certain Iron Chef episodes where like, oh, they mixed them so well. I'm like, well, maybe this works out.
Like, oh man, Bobby Flay can do it.
And there's not much he can.
Real Iron Chef.
Yeah, that's true. Bob's talking about the real. No, it isn't.
Yeah, I've watched so many cooking animes, Iron Chef, and all these things have been like, okay, anything goes, I guess. Don't worry about it.
There's no cardinal rule in having tasty food.
I've seen some shit in cooking manga that just made me like, oh no. Obviously the person writing this does not know anything about cooking, because no. No to that. One of the specific ones I'm thinking of right now is I'm gonna make a deep fried pizza pocket. It has ham and pineapple, and I'm like, okay. And I put a raw egg in it.
No.
I'm like,
Put an egg in it.
Or from the same manga where the guy's strategy is, I'm gonna make curry rice and I'm gonna serve it inside an entire squid.
Ugh. Earlier in this podcast, I said something about pouring au jus on a turkey Reuben sandwich. That's fucking gross.
Does anyone do that though? Do people enjoy that?
I'm thinking about it. That's torture.
No, they just pour it into my mouth. They don't, and also I don't get Reuben, so it can't be that.
Don't get a normal Reuben. Get a turkey Reuben. Corned beef is disgusting.
Dan,
corned beef is delicious. Fuck you.
Okay, Dan. Hanging out with you and Bob has introduced me to those clips on Twitter of people making food that's insane.
A lot of
those. I think there was one where it's like, it's 4 layers of bread, 85 hot dogs, an entire ham, 10 pounds of cheese, and we watched and went, this is the worst thing we've ever seen.
If your recipe involves cut up hot dogs, you fucked up.
It's called adding flavor and texture.
I have watched a couple of those tasty Twitter account videos where I was like, oh, this recipe seems really good. And then they fuck it up at the last second. I'm like, what? Why did you do this? I didn't need this heartbreak.
And then put a pound of chocolate in there.
Also, you've probably never heard of this, most people listening to this, because it was 8 years ago. But there was a very brief time where people were obsessed with sketty, which is from the reality show Honey Boo Boo.
Well, yeah.
Which is spaghetti noodles cooked, but the sauce, instead of like an actual sauce, is ketchup and butter.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is pretty bad.
It was reality TV, so.
Yeah, it was reality TV, and it's just every time I think about it, I'm like, I want to jump in a well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's, in fact, disgusting. Horribly, horribly disgusting.
Get us out of that.
That's rough.
I'd like to know, we've eaten, I think it was like a Filipino instant make thing. I can't remember exactly right now, but the sauce, it was trying to be spaghetti-esque. The sauce was like ketchup. I was like, what is with this? And Tosha's like, yeah, they kind of like that. And I'm like, oh, this is horrible. Yeah, we got to move on. Nick writes in, greetings, Giga Crew. I've been binge watching Gundam during quarantine, so I've been thinking about mecha designs a lot recently. What are your favorite mecha designs? Do you prefer more realistic or crazy super robot designs? Personally, I prefer mass-produced stuff like Zaku or Jagon. I don't know how to pronounce that. But I still have a soft spot for a lot of the designs from Gurren Lagann. Hard mode, KZ can't bring up the Tequila Gundam.
I think that's just racist, to be honest, that you just go, don't pick the Mexican one, Mexican.
KZ, you've mentioned the Tequila Gundam multiple times.
Of course, look at him. He's got cactus biceps.
Thanks, and keep up the great content. Your podcasts make working retail a lot easier. I really do like Zone of the Enders mech design.
Oh, those are really good.
Especially the Metatron energy that flows throughout them. Like the way that looks and everything about it. Yeah, I think the Zone of the Enders 2 mechs are all very fancy, and it would be very hard for me to pick one, especially when you consider Jehuti has so many different forms, and some of them are fucking raw shit.
Yeah, it's like the one where he's broken into pieces. It's really good.
I believe that one was called Naked Jehuti.
Yes.
Or Jehuti, as I believe random voice actors in the dub call it.
Only when they're off their game.
Yeah, it's like
Maybe
a third of the cast, a half of the cast. Yeah, Zone of the Enders 2 is really good. We got a pretty great port to the PS4. Zone of the Enders 1 is mind-blowing if the PS2 is new and you get a free demo for Metal Gear Solid 2. That's the only context in which I can openly recommend trying that, but I think it's neat. It's real neat.
It's open world.
Add it to my list of games like Devil Kings and Chaos Legion.
Yes. Let's go with Bob. Bob, mech design.
It's really hard to choose like one. There's so many good mechs. I always think of the Gunbuster from original Gunbuster and how
Gunbuster's pretty raw.
Yeah, no. How it feels like it's 6 episodes building up to the most insane mech transformation sequence followed by destruction sequence possibly ever animated. Plus his head design's really cool. I always have a bias towards the Wing Gundam. Especially the movie version where he has like feathers on his wings and it doesn't make any sense, but it's hilarious.
Robot feathers.
It's funny. I've actually heard people who are legitimately upset at the not impractical designs of the Wing Gundam series.
Imagine
like
being
Gundams.
mad at anything in Gundam Wing for being impractical.
I know.
Yeah, it's like this is what breaks it for you. Did you see the rest?
Yeah.
The Tall Geese is also amazing. Like
The
that
Tall
thing.
Geese is so fucking incredible. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, those mech designs are really good.
The Tall Geese is the Tall Geese is that specific brand of stupid, not its design, which is immaculate, but its concept of we had to shelve the prototype for being too good.
I forgot about that. I'm so dumb.
What?
Yeah,
I think it was like too expensive.
Because Zet gets his ass kicked by Hero like twice. He's like, I need a better mobile suit. And somebody's like, we had this prototype that was too fucking badass. Its dick was too huge. We couldn't mass produce it. And Zek's like, yes.
The Epion is also amazing. I don't know how they had so many good mech designs in that one series.
Yeah, Heavy Arms is also really good. Not Endless Waltz Heavy Arms, which is not that great, but the two from the series are fantastic.
I mean, didn't Endless Waltz Heavy Arms have 4 Gatling guns?
Yeah, but I think that's less cool. It's blue now though, and I think it being red is really important.
That's fair.
But both the basic and like the upgraded Heavy Arms are really incredible.
I'm trying to think of anything more recent mecha wise that I was really into, but it's hard.
KZ, do you have any non-liquor themed mech designs?
So there's a part in Gundam 00 where an American man becomes a weeaboo and then gets a samurai robot called the Maserao, which is a dual-wielding energy katana robot. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Big fan of that. Also, the Big O.
And Big O
Big
is
O's
real
great.
fucking good.
The piston fists are probably one of the coolest
Yes.
things in existence.
That's
Yes.
probably why I like it.
It's hard to beat.
Here's a 90-second animation of him swinging his fist back, the piston going up, him punching and the piston going down, and him wrecking your shit.
Yeah, there aren't too many mech shows that I can think of that allow the mech to be that slow and powerful.
Yeah, no, it's usually not the case.
I'm pretty
Not
sure.
guilty.
I'm pretty sure Big Zam could outrun the Megaduce.
Yeah.
Yes.
It really sells it when the way he beats a big duo, which can fly, just fall on him. There's no coming back.
Oh man, Big O's great. We need to get back to watching that, Bob. We watched like 8 episodes.
Oh man, we did, and then we just saw.
We just put it in the box and put it away. Feel?
Okay, let's see. I really like the goof
Okay.
from
is
the
good.
original Gundam. I think the goof is great. It's probably my favorite mech design from like UC Gundam. Although I also really like the Rick Diaz. I think they're really
Their
strong
hammer pants
designs
are
for these.
hilarious.
Yes. But also, all right, we talked about Tall Geese and Big O. I like what the fuck is it called? The Tawburn from Star Driver. I think that's a great mech design that works really well in that show. I don't know if anybody else has ever seen what I'm talking about.
I have not.
I've watched like the first episode of Star Driver, but never saw this.
I'll post the figure of the mech. Because the main guy goes through his like literally a magical girl transformation sequence, because he gets like thigh-high boots and a highlight in his hair, and then summons this shit.
Hot damn.
Summons this musketeer robot, and it's really great. Also, Nobel Gundam from G Gundam, the one that's just Sailor Moon,
Oh yeah, that
or
one
I
is
guess
good.
Sailor V. I will forever be upset that no scans of the magazine that has illustrations of the entire team exist. That'll upset me forever. Plus, I think there's one of them in one of the Build Fighter shows. There's like a variant of it.
I gotta say, Bob,
Yeah.
I hate the rest of this podcast staring at Super Bar Mexican Fiesta. Just this image sitting here.
I also like the ball.
The ball is really funny. It has a drone with a knife energy.
Yes.
Just the way they opened that one Gundam series, 8th MS team, and dude's like, I'm gonna take him out with the ball. And it works.
I also really like the Kowloon Gundam, which only exists for like 3 minutes of total screen time, and will never get any sort of figure. Kowloon Gundam that was what Master Asia used before the Master Gundam.
Oh my god, I can't remember that at all.
Oh yeah.
I'll post a picture of it. It's what he won his original Gundam fight in, and I think it's pretty cool looking when he's doing kung fu in it and using his cloth spear. I think the closest thing we ever got to like a figure for it is there's a kit you can buy to convert one of the Master Gundam things into Kowloon Gundam, but of course that's 20 years old by now and you'd never be able to get it ever.
Right. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and move on. Last question. Adraco writes in, hello, Gigalads of the Massive Cranium Work Zone. What movies / cartoons / TV shows do you all like when you watch them for entertainment instead of content and or self-harm? And do you have any specific genres you prefer over others? P.S. Keep up the wonderful content, but please have at least some mercy on yourselves and rest when you need to. I'll do what I want. Which
I'd like to, but I can't.
So when I first read this, I was like, I immediately had an answer, but upon reading it a second time, I'm like, I mean, there are lots of things I watch. It's really hard to answer this if I don't just answer it with things I watch pathologically. So I'm gonna just I'm just gonna answer it that way. Okay, so if I'm not feeling well, which is the only time I don't work on shit, I watch 3 things, and depending on the level of brain damage from being sick or not wanting to do anything, this is the order it goes in from least to most severe. Okay, So if I'm feeling well enough to be cogent and follow narratives and think about anything, I'll watch Star Trek TNG. If I really don't feel like that, and I'm in a fugue state and I'm going to fade in between being able to think about stuff and not think about stuff, like I'm sick and I just want to sleep, but I really want to watch something I love, Case Closed. I love Case Closed. Meitante Conan is a really great series. It's comfort food. I've rewatched my entire US collection of the show multiple times. Now then, if I'm maximum levels of brain damaged and I might as well be sick out of my gourd and hocked up on medicine enough to barely be able to put together a sentence, Inspector Gadget. That's the scale, ladies and gentlemen.
Matthew Broderick.
Not that one. But yeah, I don't really have any genre preferences, you know. But those are the three things that I've come back to revisit on various levels of not well. Which is the way I'm going to answer this question, because I mostly do things if there's content. This is a time problem more than anything else. Also, I find myself watching videos on YouTube that are like educational more so than watching a TV series, which is a bit of a problem, honestly. Also, Yu Yu Hakusho's fucking great, and I'm going to rewatch that a third time sometime. I swear to God. We're going to go to Mr. Feel to mix things up. Mr. Feel?
Well, I rarely watch anime or movies like new things, because I'm trying to think of the word where it's incredibly difficult to start something. It's like a weird form of executive dysfunction where I have trouble starting watching a whole show.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, I just have a weird playlist of it has Futurama, King of the Hill, The Simpsons, and The Critic in episodes I picked specifically. And I hit play, and it has like 150 episodes total. And that just loops sometimes. When I need something that I can turn my head and look at for 5 minutes, and then look back at something else.
Yeah.
It's kind of like leaving your TV on for a dog.
Right. No, I totally get that. That was the one blessing of TV. TV, you didn't have to really choose, right? You set it to a channel, and if they were playing a thing you liked, they were. If they weren't, then maybe change the channel. But you didn't have to choose, basically. And I guess that's also the nice thing about live streams. Same deal. Bob?
I always try and keep up with the animes that are going that season. Like, I at least try and pick a few that I get into, and I want to... Every time a new season starts, I want to watch, like, everything. I want to try and check out the first episode of every series, see which ones I actually want to pick up and keep going with, because I find myself having, like, 30 minutes to watch something once a week easier than be like, oh, this whole season is here. This whole thing, you can go watch the entirety, 26 episodes in one sitting. It's like, I don't have time to do that.
That's scary.
There's always a lot going on.
There's always a lot going on. This question is... So what do you guys do in your free time? If I'm crippled lying there in my deathbed, I'll watch Inspector Gadget. Feel? You go ahead. I have a brain disease. Okay, Bob, your turn. There's always things happening. I'm always dealing with so much. Casey, we asked him to go.
No.
He's a skeleton.
You don't want to hear about mine.
But yeah, I'm trying to think if I don't really go outside of anime so much, so it seems like the only thing I ended up watching, because there's so many things that I've either bought a Blu-ray of and want to watch that and try and get through it. I finally finished Nadia the other week after 6+ months of watching it. So yeah.
I'm gonna be nice and add GameSack to this list. I really enjoy GameSack's videos. They started repackaging their videos kind of like AVGN does, where it's gonna be like multiple episodes all shoved together in one giant YouTube video. GameSack's really good. I like to check them out in my free time, and they are not educational.
I don't know. We learn things those games exist.
Yeah, you find many games you wouldn't have otherwise, and it is educational in that capacity, but I really enjoy that show. KZ.
Now, you tried to say it in terms of genres, so I started thinking about it in terms of that, or like a large general way, and I was like, what have I seen recently? And then I went, oh god. It splits into 3 groups. Anime, game shows, and shows about serial killers. So yeah, that
That has a very similar through line. I can follow that energy through all 3. I get that.
I'm like, yes, please show me this show in which this is how this person just chopped them up. This is why they're a dipshit and got caught. It's followed up by Bleach and Supermarket Sweep.
I guess I'm burying the lead here. I should come clean. KZ's inspired me since he came clean with Supermarket Sweep first. And his murder serials. I watched some really fucking stupid shit for entertainment. Let me tell you about Sliders or Fact or Fiction Beyond Belief.
Okay, see, I'm a true friend. This whole time I'm like, I'm not gonna do it.
I blocked I blocked Sliders out because it's so stupid.
Sliders is unbelievably stupid.
The episode in which they go to they slide into a dimension where it's like after the second trimester the baby dies, so they surgically move it to the man.
I like when KZ tweeted this and someone goes, "The man's what?"
Oh yeah, I said they put it to the man's, and then Dai goes, "The man's what?" And I went, "Yeah."
And they don't explain that at all. That's how stupid Sliders is.
They just say something insane like what? His artificial womb. What else?
They were like, they invented a way. Shut up.
Yeah.
They make do.
And then as insane as that sounds, guys, as insane as that sounds, hearing that episode is actually royalty drama. Somehow, the episode isn't remarkably about that or philosophical, like, deep dive on what it might mean to do that or anything else. No, it's just, in this dimension, the guy, the crying man is famous. He's royalty and missing, and Rembrandt from the main crew's gonna pretend he's him, and now he's pregnant. What a fucking stupid show.
Also, there's a sword fight. Don't forget that.
Also, there's a sword fight. There was Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction is somehow dumber than Sliders because it's supposed to be stories that could be real. That adds a layer to it that I think people really should appreciate, because it's like, do you think he got an email from an ancient Egyptian? I'm like, watching this, and I'm like, no.
Not this time.
No, I don't believe that. Riker, I don't believe that at all.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Every episode has something that unbelievably stupid.
And he has to deliver a line like that. And sometimes he ends the episodes like that one was true. And it's like, no, it wasn't, man.
No, here's the best part. When they do that one, Bob, according to locals, that actually happened.
Yeah, I'm sure it did, according to locals.
Do you think the spirit of that lady visited that hotel and saved that man from killing himself that night? And I'm like, no. And they're like, yep. And I'm like, fuck you guys. This show sucks. Yes. Yes. No, there were multiple times where I'm just like, you fucking cheaters.
I was made aware of some trickery that was happening in regards to a game show being put up. So on Amazon Prime, you can watch Nick Arcade.
Okay.
And whoever put it up there had fun with the descriptions.
What?
So the first episode's description, which is Brian and Amy versus Nicole and Richard. A contestant named Nicole goes inside of a video game and has to jump over virtual rats in an attempt to win a set of encyclopedias. Host Phil Moore makes no attempt to convince her that it isn't worth the trouble. Which game wizard will these kids face in the video zone today? Murloc, Scotia, Mongo, or perhaps the underappreciated wizard of Soul responsible for this program's synthesizer soundtrack? Or this one, the last episode they have listed. Host Phil Moore wears a shirt so baggy that a sharp gust would send him sailing into the sky. The contestants go inside a video game where they're required to put helmets and knee pads so they can safely steal digital bananas from virtual monkeys. Highly recommend people check out Nick Arcade on Amazon.
Maybe just read the descriptions. Don't even watch it. That's
Right?
great.
You can buy the whole season for $6.
Wow, that's hilariously cheap. Wait, did they? Okay, so they put Nick Arcade up there. Did they?
There's 7 episodes of it.
That's weird. I gotta ask, does anyone know if Wild and Crazy Kids ended up anywhere?
Yeah, I wonder. Oh my god, this last one. One of them just ends, guess if these contestants currently have any recollection of actually appearing on this show. The answer is no.
Do they have Double Dare? Because I want to see the show,
Yes.
the gross out game show hosted by the man who has intense OCD.
Yeah, they seem to have all the double dares here. Episode 4, by the way, host Phil Moore wears a tremendous sweater in this episode. The pattern is mesmerizing and the cut is ahead of his time.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Joshua knows it's wrong to bite people, but that hasn't stopped him before.
What?
I don't know.
What?
Apparently, that's one of the contestants. the description just ends with that.
There are only 7 episodes. They fired the guy who wrote the description, was just the only guy uploading them, so now no one is.
This one just spoils the episode.
I knew it. I knew one of them had to.
Contestants Travis, Michelle, Megan, and Chris mumble their way through some radical small talk with Phil Moore before facing off in the video zone. Chris chokes on Alpha Mission 2, and Megan still hasn't forgiven him. Yeah, this is what I do in my spare time, is also watch that show. That's what's going to happen.
So when are we starting our Nickelodeon TV shows from the 90s podcast?
God. Dude, this is important. Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah.
Double Dare 2000, where they added the Triple Dare Challenge. You could win like a TV with a VCR inside it from that.
Wow, incredible.
Figure It Out. That was pretty good.
I'm trying to remember what Figure It Out was, other than contestants sit there and try to guess what someone does, I think.
Yeah, it's like the contestant is a kid with a talent that is based on a phrase, and then Nickelodeon live action stars have to ask questions, and their question may have a keyword that fills in that phrase. And it's just the cast of all that.
Yeah, I remember.
And the whole thing is that they have to survive multiple rounds, and then they win a prize if it isn't guessed.
I remember that was terrible.
It sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's horrible, but but also wonderful.
Anyway, that's going to do it for questions this time. Thank you all for writing in. These were good questions. See, we have to end this one like that because the last one ended with "do better."
All the questions were very good, even the ones I didn't pick.
In the comment section, someone's like, "Sorry, Dan, last episode," and I'm like, "Do not be sorry. Be better.
Be better."
This month's GigaBoots videos have erupted into reality thanks to the money magic of our executive producers. Esme, Nicholas Cameron, E. Lee Broyles, Star Falcon, Spaceman Spiff, Danny Richardson, Red Blaze 27, They Podlord Now, and local himbo Adam Admar. Thank you very much to our executive producers.
And also these guys.
If you want to become powerful like our executive producers, you can head on over to patreon.com/gigaboots today.